So very quickly, just showing you guys what is at the front of the blister card. You have this nice publicity, very comic book style image of the alien, scorpion alien with bendable tail, ages 17 and up, warning choke hazard, includes Dark Horse comic book inside, and then on the bottom you just have some legal stuff of who was involved, and of course the aliens logo, and that was positioned at the front of the packaging. And then behind the figure you do have this very nice artwork reminiscent of the original Kenner packaging, which is very cool. And then on the back it does show you how to complete your alien collection. So here's all of the Kenner style alien figures, some Predator figures there, one of which I also do have, which I'll be reviewing soon for you guys on the channel. The video game Predators, which I can't wait to eventually get hold of. I've been able to get hold of one so far. A review of him will be coming soon. And of course the video game Aliens. Also a nice display image of the figure there, Scorpion Alien, showing you the origins, the colony it's from, and just some different things about the alien, which is very, very cool. And I love this very 80s kind of style that they've gone for here. It really does fit in with the whole Kenner theme really, really nicely. And then if you just want to follow NECA on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram, all details are there. So yeah, that's pretty much does it for the packaging. And also included inside the packaging, as said, was this little Dark Horse comic. It comes inside this little plastic protection thing, so if we just get that out now. Okay, so taking a look at the comic, you can see you have this very nice artwork on here. Scorpion Alien Operation Rescue. This is an official Dark Horse comic, so it's so awesome. Now, I won't read through the whole thing because I don't want to spoil it, but here you've got all this really cool artwork, which tells a very nice story. And in this comic they're actually using the Kenner toy versions of the characters. You've got that very Terminator-esque version of Bishop there. Very, very cool, nice little story, and just a nice bit of fun, really. I'm really happy that NECA, you know, thought to do this. It's very, very cool. So if you are collecting these, you will gradually start to build a collection of these little comics, which is really, really nice. So without any further ado, let's get on to the figure itself. Okay, so taking a look at the Scorpion Alien, he is so tall I'm struggling to fit him on camera. This is an absolutely beautiful iteration of the Xenomorph. I love the paint job on this so much. It's this beautiful kind of copper and gold and bronzes all over this matte plastic. Matte black with this nice little gloss applied over the top just to highlight certain areas. I mean, this is an absolute masterpiece of a figure, and it's a shame I don't have the original Kenner version to compare, but honestly, this is brilliant. Now, as I said, this figure is from 2019, so I was a little worried that maybe this would be old NECA, you know, that is littered with quality controls, and this could probably just break. You know, quality control issues, it would probably just break as soon as I took it out the box. Thankfully, I think this was when NECA began to turn around, because the legs on this are very tight, they're not floppy, and the articulation doesn't seem restrained or restricted, which is very cool. And the articulation on this figure is plentiful, which I really love. The look of the mouth. Now, as you can see, they have just reused a lot of the same mold that you would see on the traditional Aliens Xenomorphs. Like, you know, the head is clearly the same at the face, aside from these spikes that protrude from the head instead of the traditional kind of ridges that you get. You do have these extra long bioports with the very sharp edges, and as well as some spikes. In fact, the alien is absolutely covered in spikes on the shins, on the elbows, the wrists, and it's all just very, very cool. It just gives it this very kind of desert creature look to it, which I think is what they were going for. Now, the tail is exactly the same as all other Xenomorph tails, however, it does have the scorpion sting on the end, which I think is very, very cool. As well as the feet, they're exactly the same. If you guys have seen the Aliens, you will recognise a lot that has been reused on this body. But you know what? That's absolutely fine, because it's exactly what it looks like in the comic. Unfortunately, one of the legs has been a bit bent. That tends to happen because of the way they put them in the box. What I do love about these legs is they are actually hollow, so you can look straight through them there, which is very, very cool. And that is something which, if you see the alien in the comic, you'll actually notice. and it can even be seen on the artwork on the front cover display piece. So they really have kept true to the design here, and I think it looks absolutely brilliant. Like I say, I'm a huge fan of the copper wash and the bronze that they've used. I think it just really highlights those details very well. So turning to articulation, there is plenty of it. So you do have double bend at the elbow, so you can bring your arms right the way up. There is a full rotation at the hands, as well as forward and back, and also forward and back on the fingers as well. You can bring the arms out to 90 degrees and also do a full 360 there. Just be careful when doing it, because you don't want to rub off any of this awesome paint. There is a ball joint at the ab crunch, so you can go forward, back, and side to side as you will. The legs can go back really far and come forward relatively far. There is a double bend at the knee, so you can bring the legs back this far, but the spike will hinder it from going any further. There's also a rotation there. There's a rotation at the feet, which is really good, and even toe articulation, so you can bring the toes up. The legs can also come out slightly, but not too far. Because this is the older style NECA waist joints, both of the legs move simultaneously because they are kind of attached together. Thankfully, they are starting to do away with this now. An example is the Alien 40th anniversary big chap, where you can see they are incorporating the new ball peg joints, which is great. I hope that every NECA figure will have these eventually. As you can see when standing him next to the big chap from the 40th anniversary, you can see that he is significantly taller, and he does also have a variation of other colours which come into vision in the light. You can see these red areas here and there, and especially this really nice navy blue on the face and also down the ribcage. The bendy wire in his tail works very well. It's very strong and very easy to get into the poses that you want. I have him in this very kind of almost stinging pose here, which I really like. And there is also a rotation at the top of the tail, which does help you if you just want to get it into a bit more dynamic poses. Unfortunately, the head articulation is non-existent on this figure, and I don't want to force it. I'm not sure if the peg is stuck maybe, but unfortunately with these older Alien figures, the worst bit about them was always the head joint, so I'm fine with it how it is. I'm not going to try and move it, but that is a shame. Lastly, his mouth does have articulation. It can open really far, and also he does have the extendable mouth, which is standard on all Alien figures. Sadly, however, this is quite loose, and the only way to keep it in is to push it in and then close the mouth. But aside from that, it's still very cool. He does also have these soft rubber cables coming out the back there. They've made these of a much better material now, so they're less likely to break, but just be careful if you are able to move the head, as you don't want those to snap. And for a quick size comparison, here he is next to the video game Warrior Predator. Here he is next to the Part 3 Jason. And here he is next to the Character Options 10th Doctor figure. So you really can see that when it comes to xenomorphs, they tend to tower quite a lot over the other figures. So overall, I really love this Scorpion Alien figure. I think it was a fantastic addition to the collection, and I was very happy to find it when I was on holiday down in Plymouth. We went to some absolutely amazing collector shops, and I was able to find him for a very reasonable price. I'd heard many good things said about this figure from previous reviews, and I'm happy to say that on mine, that same expectation has not been soiled. This is an absolutely wonderful figure, and I would highly advise that you add him to your NECA collection if you can find him for a reasonable price. So that's going to be it for this short review, guys. I really hope you enjoyed it. Just a quick review because I really want to give some NECA content out for you guys. Like I say, I really love this figure. I've really enjoyed making this review, and I hope you guys have enjoyed it as well. So if you like this video, please be sure to let me know. Comment down below and let me know what you think of this figure. Do you have him? Are you planning on adding him? And yeah, expect more NECA content coming in the near future, guys, and have a very Merry Christmas wherever you are in the world. And I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.